Good evening. Welcome in Daily UPSC editorial audio program. Class Struggle Times of India. Economics of Tirth Yatras. Gearing up for change. The Hindu. Now the full editorial. Class Struggle. The Times of India. Too many exams, hence too much coaching. Union Education Ministry's guidelines to regulate coaching centers will be seen as correctiveness, but taken together, they are simply brand ad. Here is why. Define it again. Why existing rule difference between coaching institute and schools is the absence of counseling, sports, and creating activities. In the latter, the new guidelines say coaching centers must organize classes for curricular activities for holistic development, mental well-being, etc. Where is then the differentiator from the school? Necessary evil. NEP 2020, the new India's vision document for education emphasis need to wean away from exam-led assessment, resulting coaching culture and its harmful impact. Given that rules for fair and reasonable fees for or putting an age bar for of 16 or saying classes should be beyond school hours can only trigger a black market of fee deals and stress students further by restricting age and time. Where are the measures towards removing coaching culture? Exams glow. NEP speaks of reform in entrance exam systems to eliminate need for coaching classes. For that, number of exams must be slashed. More fair and reasonable price colleges are needed, especially government institutes and scholarship based, not loans led fee systems. In private colleges, government must know its pan-India online CUET has spawned more coaching centers. Road to future. Coaching centers were once instrumental in helping students from non-privileged background crack intense tests across strata. They set up shop and flourished in a competitive market created by gaps, poor schooling, and a shortage of colleges and job opportunities. Desperate parents and helpless students still find in coaching centers guarantees the only jab at the future with an income. All entrance exams have coaching institute as a feeder agencies. Rules such as minimum space per student, ventilation, lighting, drinking water detail basic minimums. These are also a depressing recognition that coaching centers are often sweet shops. Even a 16-year-old could have figured out all this. Economics of Tirth Yatras. Religious tourism is an ancient custom. What's changed is the householder's understanding of responsibilities. Individual effort has given way to expectations from the state. Vivek Devray, the writer, is an economist. Bharatvarsha's history can be reconstructed from several sources: archaeology, epigraphic record, geological changes, genetics, evolution of language and text. Sanskrit texts have many layers, functions of a timeline broadly divided into Shruti and Smriti tradition with oral transmission. Text as we have them today are not necessarily original ones, and they evolved over thousands of years. Stated simply, the Smriti corpus has Dharma Shastras, Vedang, and Iti, Itihas, Puran, Dharmashastra, Arthashastra, and Niti Shastra are not neat, watertight compartments. Two versions of times. There is a double and parallel delineation of time. Ma- Manava uh, Manav Tarshanand Manav Tarsand Yugas. At present, we are in Manvantaran's Yugas. At present, we are in Vaivasat Manvantar in the 28th cycle of yugas in that Manvantaras. Dharma is not religion. Dharma cannot and should not be translated as religion. Etymologically, dharma is that which holds up the fabric of society. In Satya Yuga, people are naturally inclined towards dharma as one moves down Treta and Dwapar. This inclination progressively diminishes, hence the evolution of kingship in Treta to uphold dharma, protect the virtuous, punish the wicked, and ensure rule of law. Prithu, after whom the earth was named Prithvi, was the first such Rajan. Accordingly, Dharmashastras and a bit later Itihas Puran portray template of Dharmen, Treta and Dwapara. Dharm uh, portray, portray template of Dharma in Treta Dwapara. This is a period where there was settled agriculture and urbanization. Consider, for example, descriptions of Ayodhya in Valmiki Ramayana. Roles and responsibilities in that temple of Dharma. There were roles for king, community, and individual householder. In the fold ashrama depiction, wealth creation was responsibility of the householder guest. Without the householder, the other three ashramas wouldn't have sustained themselves. The householders' right encompassed nitya daily, naimitya special occasions, and kamya special wish to mind. Within nitya, every householder has to perform five sacrifices: studying, worshipping devas, repaying debts to ancestors through offering, tending to guests, and feeding animals. Anushashan Parvas of Mahabharata has a subsection of Dan Dharma, duty not CSR. Dana, gifts and donation is lauded in Nitya Naimitya Kame. This was individual household responsibility without the stake of CSR. The householder's template of Dharmathas encompassed redistribute measures and transfer payments not routed through the king or governments. This was the transmission of savings into consumption expenditure multiplier effects dependent on what would have happened to savings. Household budget public good plus there was Ista and Purta. Uh, Ista meant something Ista means something desired which fulfilled mainstream itself through sacrifices. Sacrifices are equivalent to revenue expenditure. In contrast, Putra works were more like capital expenditure, building roads, planting trees, constructing water bodies, building temples, while a bit of this was the king's responsibility. It was also that of individual householder. Dharma wants only about emancipation from samsara, the cycle of death and rebirth. It was also about the three purusharthas, objectives of human existence of dharma, artha, and kama, and giving the society of the time enunciated economic principles. Text encourage pilgrims. Varna Aranyaka Parva of Mahabharata has subsection on Tirth Yatras. A Tirth Yatra is a place of pilgrim and text allowed visits to Tirthas. The word Tirtha and Kshetra are sometimes used synonymously. Sometimes a distinction is drawn between them. Water essence of pilgrimage sites. When a distinction is drawn, the tirtha typically has following water on descents into. By that Quran, Kurukshetra is a kshetra where Varanasi is a tirtha. The text given us several list of tirthas, typically explaining why they became tirthas. Naimittik Kand, Naimittik and Ka- Kamerites, Dana Ishta Purta and Tarpan, oblation of water were especially uh, eff- efficacious in Tirthas. Religious tourism in that day and age, visiting Tirthas was a form of tourism often concentrated on special auspicious occasions such as times of ellipse change of Ayan, Uttarayana to Dakshinayana, vice versa, and Sankranti, Surya's entry into the Rashi. The tirthas could be existing brownfield urban centers or greenfield locations that revived and expenditure and urbanization trigger, sometimes seasonal. Its economic impact multiplier effects are obvious enough, but it is inevitably the case resources have opportunity cost. What would have happened to these resources otherwise? What would they have been saved or spent in expenditure created or switched? Is expenditure private? Read the Grehastha or public? Read the Rajan. There is no dearth of there is no dearth of centers of dharma in Bharata, or thousands of years later principles of religious tourism are no different. Understandably, Government of India and state governments have focused on such tourist circuits, contemporary Tirth Yatra, and improving infrastructure in such centers, not restricted to Hinduism alone. Billion pilgrims on yatras. Ministry of Tourism has a scheme based on the reasonable premise that a large chunk of domestic tourism is of a religious variety, while reliable numbers are difficult to get and can't conceivably be exhaustive. In an answer to Parliament, we were told 1.4 billion domestic tourists visited religious center in 2022. It was short of the pre-COVID numbers of 2.3 billion. This obviously means many Indians made multiple visits to the same and or different pilgrimage centers. There were 6.4 million foreign tourists, far short of some 30 million pre-pandemic. We don't have a clear handle on revenue earned by such centers except in foreign exchange. In thousands of years, underlay of dharma dharmas not change. What has changed is the expectations that all infrastructure will be created by government, while we forget about Ishta, Purta, and Danen Tirthas. Ishta, Purta, and Danen Tirthas. Gearing up for change in the Hindu. India needs region-specific plans to improve climate resilience. Earlier this week, the India Meteorological Department (IMD) entered the 150th year of its existence, while at present it analyzes the entire spectrum of climate and weather, from cyclones to fog. It was conceived in colonial times to probe the mysteries of the southwest monsoon. The needs were practical. The birth administration concerned about revenues was intimately aware of the influence of the monsoon on harvest, and thus extremely invested in determining whether past observations of wind, rain, and sunshine could be used to predict future torrents and droughts. In the years since then, the IMD has collected gar, gar, gargantuan stories of meteorological data that underline its forecast of the monsoon. On such analysis of this data by researchers at the Council on Energy, Environment and Water (CEEW) examines monsoon trends at the sub-divisional tehsil level from 1982 to 2022. This finds that monsoon rainfall is increasing in more than half, or 55% of India's roughly 4,400 tehsil. About 11% of them saw decreasing rainfall. In those tehsil, about 68% experienced reduced rainfall in all four monsoon months, while 87% showed a decline during the June and July, crucial for the showing of Kharif crops. Most of these tehsils are in the Indo-Gangetic Plain, which contribute to more than half of India's agricultural production. Northeastern India and the Indian Himalayan region. The study also found that 30% of India's districts witnessed several years of deficient rainfall. years and 38% many years of excessive rainfall. Some tehsils in Rajasthan, Gujarat, central Maharashtra, and part of Tamil Nadu that historically were dry were also getting wetter. These were also changes underway in the northeast monsoons, which sets in during October, November, and December, but primarily impact peninsular India. The northeast monsoon rain was increased by more than 10% in the past decade, 2012 to 2022, in approximately 18% of tehsils in Tamil Nadu, 44% in Telangana, and 39% in Andhra Pradesh, respectively. The southwest monsoon accounts for nearly 76% of India's annual rainfall, with that 11% from the northeast monsoon. That India's monsoon are increasingly prone to long dry spells and punctuated by torrential wet spells in well documented through how much of it can be explained by natural variability and how much from global warming is an active area of research, while revenue extraction guided colonial interest in weather at the regional level. Such analyses have a new contemporary relevance. This is to make religion specific plans to improve climate resilience and channel necessary funds and resources. Prioritizing regional and sub-district forecasts over national ones would be a commendable step forward by the government. Thank you.